It is Monday morning. The weekend was fine. We had a few clouds out there. We do have clouds moving in now to California. Got a little action in the tropics. We've got rain that has fallen in parts of California. We'll look at some of those. We'll look at temperatures. We'll look at where it's raining now, where it's going to rain. And then we'll look at Umberto, which is this guy right here. That was a Cat 5 hurricane. It's a it's a big storm, but it's tracking away, which is awesome. So it really isn't going to have much of an impact at all. Maybe a little swell increase up in the northeastern part of the East Coast, up around New Hampshire and those areas. And then this is Imelda, which is a tropical storm, which will track pretty close to the coast, but still, it's right at hurricanes. Category 1, I think it's 74 degrees or 74 miles per hour. It's at 60 miles per hour, but it looks like it's going to move off, and it will turn into a Cat 1 hurricane as it hits 80 miles an hour, but stays well offshore as well. So it's the time of year where you start watching the tropics. And then off our coast, the West Coast, we've got this guy here. That's really right now, those are just areas of low pressure. There's 3 of them out there that are trying to form into tropical storms, but they don't appear to have the ability. It looks very impressive, but it's not. And then here is our current weather system. It's 10 o'clock this morning. A little fog down in the Central Valley. And just a couple of days of wet weather. And that's sort of the story around here. We've got temperatures today in Redding that'll go to 70 degrees. Temperatures in Los Angeles today will be 77. San Francisco 71. Sacramento 74. So pleasant weather, but scattered showers have already occurred and are going to continue next couple of days, and I'll show you that. So we'll go right to the weather. Here are some of this is CNFRC, California Nevada River Forecast Center. And these are some of the totals in the Bay Area. So this helps fire danger for sure. 0.18 in up above Pacifica, up by Skyline Boulevard, that's 0.2 of an inch. That's the Bay Area. So under 1/10 of an inch generally. As we creep further north, same thing. Sonoma County, up around Ukiah, just 0.01. But we do bump into some more substantial rain as we go further north. That's Cape Mendocino. My friends at Point Arena, about 0.14. And then you see that 0.70 and 0.7, almost 3/4 of an inch showing up on the border. And then up north, up around Oregon, you got over an inch of rain. So this is the beginning of what will be and should be a pretty productive pattern. So this is the 500 millibar vorticity. Here is that trough. This is right now. We're looking into the future. The next 4 graphics will be models, a couple of different ones. Starts off with the jet stream. So we're up high. Looking down, we're up high, and we're in that river of air in the upper atmosphere that is driving. This is not showing moisture. This is showing the motor. We'll look at moisture in a minute. So here's the motor. Here it comes closer. This is as of this morning, about right now. Those reds and yellows, those packets represent instability. So moisture around is going to rain. And you see all that. That's still instability through tomorrow morning. And then behind that, another unstable area a little further north through Wednesday afternoon. And then it drops in. This is Thursday night. And it's hard to say what that's going to be. That would be snow right there. See that inside slider. But really, again, there's so much happening right now that we're just going to go 24, 48 hours out. So here's 24 hours. And here's the 48 hours. So all this has to go through. And all that is going to be attached to this moisture plume. So now we're looking at surface to upper air water content in the atmosphere, the humidity, the dew point, the how much water is precipitable water. So purple obviously representing significant. So this is now the fuel. Right, so I'm going to roll it through, same thing, but before we were looking at the engine. The engine's spinning, but nothing's going down unless you feed it. And this is what feeds it. So here we are now. This is that blue line comes through. Your best opportunity for showers then are going to be tonight into Tuesday morning, based on the moisture and then more moisture, and you're going to see just kissing it. So it's not horribly, horribly wet, and that will bear out. See, what would be horribly, horribly wet is this stuff, right, in train. That's monsoonal moisture often. In this case, these are extratropical weather systems, so they're coming in, and they have access to it, but it gets a little bit drier. You see how dry it gets? Dry, 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 and then really dry as we go into Friday, even though we have a trough over us, right? So we have the engine, but we don't have a lot of fuel. And you'll see that depicted in some of the options for rainfall. So is that going to go down that way? The time and thinking, because you're trying to phase two things together, right? You want the moisture to match up with the engine. It will. There'll be rain, but I suspect these models are pretty accurate in how much. So here is the HRRR. This is the rapid update model. If I were you today, I would do this. I would go to my radar right here, right? And there's where the system is now. So this is San Francisco radar. That's pretty good looking rain sitting offshore. And then if I go to the HRRR, that's what the HRRR is seeing as of this is HRRR about now. And then here comes the rain, hour by hour, right? And you see, a little bit of moisture. It's coming into early afternoon. So none of this, right? Not a lot of moisture in there. And just, right? Now, if you're up around Redding, Mount Shasta, that's quarter inch, half inch of rain. That looks pretty significant. And then, so HRRR, this is through Tuesday morning, late tonight, Tuesday morning, and then on. So that's as far as that goes. NAM, the North American model, will go out further, less granular, but still give us a good idea what to expect. So that last model, HRRR's the today model. And then you use that today model with the radar. And how do you do that? You go, well, let's go back. I don't know if you want to hear this or not. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Well, what are we going to do? Here it is, right? So we know that's not a model, that's rain. So you go to whatever your app. Everybody's got a radar app these days. I pay for this one just because it's a little more updated, like it's real time. But there it is, right? So now we go, okay, well, what's the HRRR look like right now? So we're HRRR, we'll back up, and that's what the HRRR looks like about now. So a little bit, right? It's a little bit ahead of what's really happening. So it might be a little early. So you can play that game, especially when you know where you live and where you're concerned about. You can go, oh, okay, right? Does that make sense? So you're playing, you're doing a dance, and you're doing this, right? And it's right, it's here, but the model's not there yet. So you kind of have to, you'll get a feel for it, right? And that's all we do with models. When you look at a lot of models, you're kind of doing this a lot because they're not all going to be the same. They have different inputs, different times that they have been run off. This is the North American, different model. And this is right now. There's that. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? That kind of looks like what we just saw. It comes in. That brings that in around early afternoon. Here's this afternoon. So Ukiah, Marin County, it drapes that leading, that's that main band. So it's a slow mover if you buy this, right? And then, so this is, now we're moving to this evening, Mount Shasta. And now this will go out further, and you see the next wave coming in. And then that comes in Tuesday afternoon. Same thing. Now, clearly not a lot of moisture available to these. This is Tuesday late afternoon, or pardon me, Wednesday afternoon. So a little more there. And then that should be it. So we've looked at a couple models. So right now, I'm just thinking, yeah, if I'm in a Point Arena, I've got the umbrella in the car, and I'm ready to have rain. Same with Redding. If I'm in Marin County, a few sprinkles. If I'm in San Jose, I'm like, whatever, right? Santa Cruz Mountains, you'll get some scatter showers. So sort of steady as she goes. It could change, right? The dynamics, we have the engine, we've got the motor, it's right there. It kind of seems like this moisture thing is playing with us a little bit. So here is the GFS, I believe it's GFS, yes. No, this is the NAM. I did rainfall accumulation through the whole run. So here comes the first wave. This is as of tomorrow morning. And you can see these numbers. So 0.26 in Marin County over the next 24 hours. Half inch of rain up about Cape Mendocino. 0.2 of an inch in Marin County. 7/100 of an inch Santa Cruz Mountains. Okay, that's as of tomorrow morning. Then the next wave comes in. This is as of Wednesday morning. You see almost an inch of rain around Anchor Bay, but still, Marin County's at under a half inch. And then we'll go a little further in, and we'll go all the way, take it all the way out. And Marin County comes in just over an inch by Thursday afternoon. So that footprint right there, number one, it's awesome for fire danger, right? Awesome if that all transpires, because you're looking at over an inch of rain in those yellow zones. Santa Cruz Mountains will be damp. San Diego, Santa Barbara, you guys are like, whatever. San Jose looks, maybe you get a tenth of an inch or something like that on that rain shadow side. We'll see over the course of the next week. So this isn't a flooding rain, and the reason I showed you the precipitable water right off the top was because now you can see why. Now, if there was more moisture involved here, these numbers would be double, triple, right? But there wasn't, based on what we saw. And that doesn't mean it's how it's going to go down, but right now that's how it looks. So the National Weather Service is saying, what are they saying, through Wednesday? And that's kind of what we saw. I got Santa Rosa of an inch of rain, potentially half inch to an inch of rain through Wednesday. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what we looked at. So we're all looking at the same stuff. And you can see it dries off. So here, this zone is getting a good dose of showers. Now, so we just did the forecast, right? So how do I make my plans this week? If I'm painting, if I'm laying concrete, doing down concrete, if I have outdoor work, if I'm south of Marin County, I'm like, I'm just doing it. If I'm in Marin County north into Sonoma County, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just pay attention to the HRRR and the live radar and dodge raindrops. If I'm in Anchor Bay, I'm like, it's going to be wet, and I'm just going to treat it accordingly like an early winter storm. Okay, this is, where are we right now? I put this in Pratt Mountain up by Cape Mendocino. And I just thought this was pretty. So this is the system coming in, and you'll see should see some rain shafts. Isn't that beautiful? You see it lowering up. And you're like, oh, there's a few raindrops, right? And some shafts off in the distance. This is looking towards, so essentially towards the east, I guess, kind of east. More raindrops, awesome. Pratt Mountain, again, just east of Cape Mendocino, yes. And then this is, who did we get here? Well, we're going to find, this is, oh, dang. Let's see. I can't remember. Let me pull it up. Oh, this was, sorry, I didn't identify. Let's go to another one. I thought I had that one figured out. This is up in Lake Tahoe. Sorry about that last camera. I think that was up around Cape Mendocino. And then this is that moisture filling in. It doesn't take a brain surgeon or meteorologist or student of meteorology to go, oh, yeah, look, the weather's getting weird. Because you're seeing the wind shear, you see the clouds go in some different directions, some different elevations, you see the texture. You can just go, okay, things are unsettled. It's not a static, stable pattern. This is a neat shot. This is the Sutter Buttes and up by Chico. And this is pretty. This is looking kind of up towards Paradise. And you can see the clouds coming in, maybe a few raindrops. But again, moisture, if there was more moisture, we'd be seeing some rain, but there just isn't. See the green though already. Somebody saw a little fire down there, I thought. These cameras, these Alert Californias, are used mainly for fire lookouts, which is awesome. And something I learned the other day, which I was kind of felt dumb that I didn't know that, but I just assumed, because we grew up watching fire lookouts just because it seemed like the coolest thing to do, because it's just like, wow, would you love to live here? We had one up on Sawmill Peak, but there were people up there. And I thought these Alert California cameras have taken, they're live cameras, and the Forest Service guys and CAL FIRE look at them for fires. But they still put people in fire lookouts. For some reason, I thought they didn't. I just thought, yeah, no, they're done doing that. And a nice guy who's been with me a long time, fire captain, just said, listen, no, we still put bodies up in those deals. So that's sort of interesting, isn't it? Because you think, well, you got this thing, you just throw a camera up there, but I guess there's nothing like having a human interaction up there. Here are the forecast highs for today, which is awesome. Again, fire danger. It's there, but it's not prevalent. There was a fire last night in Weed. There was a house fire, but there was enough wind that it turned into a fire. They had to have evacuations in downtown Weed, I believe. It is fine now, but and it was, again, a structure fire that turned into watchduty.org picked up on it, which meant that it was catching a lot of rural stuff on fire. Okay, so here's the national map. Umberto, Imelda, this area out here trying to do stuff. And then that's the parent low there. So we have below average next 6 to 10 days. Now, that 6 to 10 days starts October 4th, and here we are on the 29th. So we still, down to the road next week, looks like we're going to be below average. But unfortunately, it looks like we're below average for rainfall too in that same week. So those are just 6 to 10 days. Earthquakes, we've had a few. This is Ring of Fire last 7 days, and we're talking about the over 4.5. Yeah, over 4.5. So that one up by Cape Mendocino by the triple point was yesterday. But look at all those are over 4.5. That's a very active zone, right? And we know that it is. It's a ring of fire. This whole area. Those are subduction plates. And that's where most of the earthquakes in the world occur. And that's where the big earthquakes in the world occur, especially in this area, the Cascadian subduction zone, which is what do they call it? They call it something, I always forget the name. It's like maximum subduction zone. I can't remember there's a term for it, but it's big. Sorry about that, but it's big. And it'll be a problem at some point, and it has been for a long time. And that meets up with our triple point, which gives us earthquakes too. So you see all the earthquakes. That's the last 7 days. Here is the last day. Let's do last day. 1 day, 2.5s. So and then you see there. So in the last 24 hours, there you go, above 2.5. So kind of active. But when you see it, again, I'm showing this more regularly because I think it's important to realize these things don't just show up. There's creep all over the tectonic plates. Creep being the Pacific plate is moving. They're all moving. And the Pacific plate moves about 2 inches a year. 2 inches a year. So that's like the length of a fingernail grows in a year, 2 inches a year. That's the whole seafloor. moves, and the other plates are moving in relation to that too, which could create strains and stress. So anyway, it's just it's just important to realize, okay, yeah, are we due for an earthquake? Always due for an earthquake. How big is the question? Here is the forecast. This is Surfline. Thank you, Surfline. This is the wave forecast through Tuesday off our coast. You just kind of get a feel. You see mostly all northern hemisphere stuff now. A couple hurricanes on the East Coast. See those purple areas pushing swell out. Pretty quiet. Right now the surf is running about, it looks big here, but this is going to turn into probably, let's see how big they call that. They're going 13 seconds, 9 seconds, 13 feet. I think that might be a little overdone, but that's down the road anyway. That's down towards October 13th. But the surf along the coast right now, kind of fun. Like Ocean Beach is about 4 foot. They're calling it 4 to 6, but I haven't seen anything close to a 6 foot set. You can tell the sandbars kind of suck right now. And that's because, see how when everybody's lined up? When you look at a camera, see how everybody's lined up straight across? That means it's very Pacific-esque. There's not really a corner. Like he's just found a corner here. But see how it's just a sandbar that's going womp. What you want, see, that's how it's walled up. Like there's kind of a left. See how it's closing out. You want the wave direction to come in at a little different angle so that it doesn't just womp. And so here, the sandbars, not quite themselves yet. They'll get there. And the tide has to be right as well. But you want it break. You want guys kind of staggered out instead of in a straight line across. Just a little inside knowledge. This is Zuma Beach. They got a nice day down there. It's beautiful fall day in Zuma. It's going to go 70 degrees, 77 in Los Angeles. Malibu, you're going to go 74 degrees. It's beautiful down there. And then that would be Point Doom. On the other side of that is Barbara Streisand's house, right? I was thinking of that South Park episode. Love South Park. Okay, this is, I wanted to give you Mount Shasta today, but it's so cloudy. This is Lake Shastina. This is the golf course. We're looking towards the east, north and east. Lake Shastina kind of was going to be a huge, it's a beautiful place. It's just the winters are they can be a little bit, they don't get a ton of snow, but they get a ton of cold. But beautiful. And again, you can see it's a fall pattern. Fire danger not really going to be an issue today. You never know for sure, but this pattern is really helpful. This is Mount Whitney, tallest mountain in the contiguous United States. We'll put that. And this was interesting this morning because there's no clouds. But as soon as the sun starts to warm the hills, you'll see a little hint. There. Boom, 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 boom. There's moisture there. There's moisture there. Just you couldn't find it until the air got unstable enough to create condensation. Right? And that's part of that is that moisture squeeging in from our weather systems to the north. And then we got the sea nettles, which are sea nettles. They eat zooplankton. There's Monterey Bay Aquarium. Haven't been down there in a while. That'd be a good one, huh? Had a good weekend. Birthday up in Palisades, Lake Tahoe. That was fun. Didn't drink very much, which is kind of like I said, 2 beers. That's it. It was fun. I just drink them slow now. This is Farallon Islands. The seals are pupping, and I don't know how this all works with the youngins, but Farallons, breeding ground for seals, breeding ground for sharks, breeding ground for birds. And this is, I'm not sure where this camera is pointed to, but this is the time of year where the seals are pupping, September, October. And that's why when the white sharks come in, because the baby seals are learning how to swim. And the sharks make it hard to learn how to swim. Los Angeles today, 77 degrees. Love the crowd. Love to be an artist. It'd be cool to be able to be like that dude. He's got a garage and he's got paint on his shirt. Like you could, the artist, how you have the paint on your shirt kind of thing. I would do that. And I just think it'd be cool. It'd be cool to be able to sell what you do, but I think it'd be awesome to be able to just the zen of painting would be huge. So it's a Monday on Venice Beach. And I wonder, you must have to get permits to set up down there, huh? Yeah, okay. 77 degrees in Los Angeles. Fresno today, 80 degrees. San Francisco, 71. Sacramento, 74. Okay, you got the lowdown. Okay, thanks for hanging in. Missed you for a few days. I was kind of just, I'm just not going to do these on the road just because it's like, if I just do it a disservice. I don't have all my tools. And plus, I kind of like to release from it. The hard part, though, is coming back because I think I have to I spent the morning just going, because I pay attention to the weather right over my head, but I don't do anything out beyond that. Okay. I appreciate all your help. Tell a friend. That'd be awesome. And if you can, post on your Facebook page or something. Just share this bad boy. Okay. We'll talk to you soon. See you back here.